highlight of the classes so far. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lily Rebecca. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Today's video is going to be a 1-month law school update. I am a first year in law school and I am taking you all on this journey with me. Today's video is just going to be a little update on how the first month has gone. I'm going to run through my classes, kind of give you my first impressions, how much work each class has been, and just give an overall idea of how law school has been going so far. So we're going to jump right in and we're going to start with probably my favorite class right now, which is torts. I absolutely love my professor. She's amazing. She actually helped create our textbook, so it is so easy to follow and read, and everything is so clear, which I think is extremely helpful. Some of our other textbooks are so difficult to read. But yeah, torts is going well. So far, we've had 90 pages of assigned reading in the first 4 weeks, which is not too much, and given that that book is so easy to read, it has not felt like a ton of work. We've read a lot of cases and done a lot of hypothetical situations, and so far we've covered intentional torts and affirmative defenses. So we've covered a good amount of information, but I still feel like I've got a handle on it so far. So hopefully that continues. Also, please forgive me, guys. I have been so sick, and yeah, I just sound really awful. So if I sound stuffy and congested, it's because I'm stuffy and congested. So got that whole like back to school cold going on. So yeah, bear with me if I sound not so great. But anyway, next class we're going to talk about is criminal law. I really enjoy criminal law. It's more challenging than I expected it to be, which is probably like naive on my part. Why would I think that any law school class would not be challenging? But it definitely does keep me interested. You really have to be engaged in everything that goes on in the class to like catch all the little nuances. We're talking about conduct requirements. We're talking about mindset requirements. So that's actus reus and mens rea. And if you know what mens rea is from Legally Blonde, then you are my kind of people. So, because that is the only reason that I knew what it was before we talked about it in class. Yeah, so that's what we've covered for the most part so far. We have had about 130 pages of reading for criminal law, so that's a good amount of reading. This book is a little bit wordier, a little bit harder to read, but the cases have been pretty easy to follow, so that's helpful because we do hypothetical situations in criminal law as well. I feel like we do that in all of our like main classes. They call them the doctrinal classes. When I didn't say this before, I have not been cold called yet in torts, and I have not been cold called yet in criminal law, so I don't know if that's lucky or, you know, what. So I will keep you guys updated when that actually does happen. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so far criminal law is really interesting. Like my professor a lot. He's very engaging. He's really good at explaining things that are difficult to understand. I have gone to office hours for this class a couple of times because there have been some complicated things that like I didn't pick up right away. But office hours have been super helpful. I highly recommend going to office hours. Even if you're not in law school, like utilize office hours if you were in college, if you're in any kind of grad school. It is so helpful. I never went to office hours in undergrad, and now I'm like, why would I waste this resource that we are given? I probably would have done a lot better in undergrad if I had used office hours. So go to office hours, just PSA. But yeah, so that's criminal law so far. We've not had any midterms. We're not having any quizzes. Criminal law literally is graded entirely on our final exam, so pray for me. But hopefully it will go well. I will keep you guys updated. All right, my third doctrinal class is contracts, and this is the one that I swear for the first month has just given me so much anxiety. If you have taken contracts, or you are a law student, or you are a lawyer, you know that a lot of contracts has to do with something called consideration. And it sounds simple. It is not simple. I'm not even going to get into what it is on this video, but consideration is apparently very important for contracts, and we went over it for like 3 straight weeks, and my mind was just like, I was so freaked out because I was like, I will never understand this. I'm going to fail this class. It finally came together in week 4, so hopefully we move on smoothly from here on out, because I really was like about to have a panic attack over contracts. In contracts, we have read about 75 pages. Contracts, the textbook, is by far the hardest to read. I read those assignments like 3 times before I understand what I'm reading. That is the nature of a lot of textbooks in law school, apparently. I've gotten lucky, like I said, with the torts book that is easy to follow, and the criminal law book, which is okay to follow. Contracts, no. Contracts is hard. That book is wordy. There's a lot of vocabulary that I've never seen in my life. I've looked up so many words, which I do recommend. If you read something and you don't know what a word means, look it up. Don't be like me. Don't be stubborn. Don't just skip over it and think you'll figure it out later. Look it up. It helps. Anyway, but 75 pages. And just to give an idea, like 75 pages doesn't sound like that much. I mean, it's a lot, but it doesn't sound like that much. But what we were told in our orientation is that 10 pages of reading for law school should take you an hour. And I found that that is fairly accurate, depending on like what's in the reading. Like if it's a lot of cases, it may not take as long, but when you're trying to like work through complicated jargon, and like I said, having to read it multiple times, 10 pages can take you an hour, especially if you're taking notes while you're reading. So if you think about it, I have now read about 300 pages. So that's about 30 hours worth of reading. That's a lot of reading. So just be prepared if you're thinking about going to law school that it is a lot of reading. However, I have found some strategies that help me kind of manage it and that have worked well so that I know what's going on in class and I know what's going on in the reading and I'm not driving myself insane. If you want me to talk more specifically about kind of my reading and study strategies, I'm happy to do that in another video. Let me know in the comments. But so far, not going insane yet, keeping up with the readings, prepared for class, good. I have been cold called in contracts, and thank the Lord it went very well. I was super proud of myself. Let me tell you, nothing feels better than acing a cold call. Like the vibes, the serotonin, highly recommend. Like literally the feeling after like nailing that cold call was worth all of the hours of reading. Yes. Hopefully that will happen in my other classes, but so far I've only been cold called in contracts. And of course, I was cold called in the class that's the hardest for me. And fun story, I literally sat down next to my friend in that class on that very day, and I was like, I know I'm gonna get cold called today because I did not understand the case that I read. So I know it today is gonna be the day, and it was the day, and thank goodness he lectured for a while before he cold called me, so I was able to like reason through what it was that I wasn't understanding from the case that I got called on about. And yeah, nailed it. Loved it. It was the best highlight of the classes so far for me. But apart from those 3 kind of core classes, I also have legal writing and analysis, which is kicking my butt. Is kicking my butt. Like I thought I was a good writer before I went to law school. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. Those word counts, like there is a maximum word count. Like you're not writing like, oh, you have to hit at least 800 words. No. Like if you go over 800 words, she'll just stop reading it. Like she'll stop at word 800. So you have to be super concise and like very specific with your language. So you're like agonizing over every sentence. It is so stressful. I've already had 3 writing assignments in that class. They have not been graded yet, but we have gotten feedback, so I kind of know how I'm doing-ish. But our first graded assignment is happening this month, so I'm actually gonna go write that when I'm done filming this. Super stressful. So I would say the class I'm spending the most time on, honestly, is legal writing and analysis. So like just to give you an example, one of our first assignments, like it literally ended up being 2 pages and I spent probably 8 hours on it. Like not even an exaggeration. And it wasn't just me who spent that long. Everybody spent forever. We spent our entire weekend before it was due writing this assignment. It was insane. So legal writing is a bear. Hopefully we'll pull it together by the end of the semester, or at least by the time graded assignment starts happening, because the stress. However, my professor is awesome. She brings us snacks all the time. So, you know, kind of balances out, right? My last class is legal research, and that class has been so chill so far. Thank goodness, because none of the other classes are really chill. But basically that's just like teaching us how to use like research databases so that we can find cases that we need, we can search different topics, we can find laws and statutes, that kind of stuff. So that's been pretty laid back, just bring our computer to class, search for some things, learn how to operate the search terms and all that good stuff and the filters. And yeah, haven't really done too much with that yet, so we'll see how it goes in the next couple of months. Apparently we do have a final exam in that class that I know nothing about yet, so hoping we get some information. Like, we literally don't even have a syllabus in that class, but we'll see how it goes. Not trying to stress too much about research. I'm pretty comfortable in the research area. I did a lot of research in undergrad, so hopefully that serves me okay. We'll see. But outside of classes, I have joined a couple of organizations. I'm working with an environmental law society. I'm doing some research separately outside of class with one of the professors who works with environmental law, and I am also on the law school softball team. So there are like, I think like 12 teams in the law school, and we have games, and literally the best thing I've done so far in law school is sign up to be on the softball team. It is so much fun. We had a game 2 days ago, and funny enough, I can actually hit a ball. Like, I've literally never played softball, baseball, anything in my life, but like, I hit the ball, I got to first base, so we're loving that. We love that. We have lost both of our games so far. We also lost to the faculty team, which was embarrassing. No, just kidding. It was totally fine. But my contracts professor is on the faculty team, so that was interesting. But so far, it has just been fun. It's a really good outlet. Highly recommend doing something active and outside while you're in school. If you're not doing that, like, you are missing out. Yeah, I think that's it for an update. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to see any particular videos, tell me. Also, if you don't follow me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. It's legally_Lily, Lili, on TikTok, and I post like every day about law school happenings. So yeah, if you want to continue to follow my journey, follow me on TikTok. You'll see me every single day. And I guess I will see you guys in the next video.